With the reveal of Bonyu in Kakarot as having once been the brains behind the Ginyu Tokusentai and being more efficient in her fighting style than those posers, it opens up the question of, what if she didn't leave them? Deciding to endure the humiliating poses in order to help make this elite squad as efficient as possible, things go very different on Namek, in which she keeps more of a keen eye on their opponents than the others who treat it as a game. When Vegeta prepares to attack Gurdo, she intercepts him, and Gurdo is able to dispose of both Gohan and Kuririn. She then lets Recoome take his turn with Vegeta, which, with nobody to save him, ends in Vegeta being felled by the Recoome Razor Gun. When Goku arrives on Namek, seeing his son and best friend lifeless fills him with such rage that he transforms into the legendary Super Saiyan and lets it loose on the Ginyus, mercilessly taking their lives in his rage. Bonyu's scouter explodes when attempting to read his battle power, which prompts her to retreat as soon as she sees Recoome get torn through, while Goku was preoccupied defeating the others. Before Goku can chase after her, he receives a telepathic communication from the Saichoro, or Grand Elder, telling him to come to him as soon as possible. Though the Saichoro is confident in this Super Saiyan besting Frieza, he knows it's imperative for him to have the information on the Dragon Balls while he can still use them, and has Dende go rendezvous with him. Goku gets there far quicker than the approaching Frieza, with the Saichoro also unlocking his potential, and bring his power to what it normally would be when fighting Frieza. Meanwhile, Bonyu relays what happened to Ginyu, who heads in the direction of where Frieza and the Super Saiyan are approaching, whereas Bonyu guards the Dragon Balls. Nail heads in that direction to retrieve the Dragon Balls while Goku faces Frieza, and Dende heads to Nail. Goku recommends they take the fight away from the Saichoro, and Frieza quickly goes into his true form after a warning punch from Goku acts as a message that he wants to finish things quickly, while proving his superiority. The fight quickly turns into Super Saiyan Goku against Frieza's full power, and, not stalling for Gohan's escape or letting Frieza try and blow up the planet, Goku gets the edge and destroys Frieza in less than 3 minutes, when having no time for error and being even angrier than normal. Nail arrives to fight Bonyu, but has more than he bargained for, with one more serious than her peers being strong enough to overpower Nail, with the techniques to widen that gap and make Nail incapable of fighting, though sparing his life for what information he may be able to provide. As for Ginyu, upon detecting Goku's battle power and breaking his scouter, he decides to wait until the battle is over for Frieza to either meet him or Goku bring the fight to him. With the latter occurring, Ginyu wastes no time in using the body change before heading back the direction that he came, before they question Nail on the Dragon Ball password. Sensing Dende's approach and Saichoro communicating with him telepathically, Nail devises a plan and pretends to help Ginyu activate the Dragon Balls and wish for Frieza's revival. Porunga is summoned as Dende approaches, and Nail makes the wish to return Goku and Ginyu to their original bodies, with Ginyu soon succumbing to his wound. Bonyu is about to kill Nail for this ruse, but Goku knocks her out as he enters his body once more. The Dragon Balls are then used to revive Piccolo, with the quashed threat of Frieza not having Saichoro die of sadness abruptly, and provide enough time for Popo to revive all the victims of Frieza's army. Namek is saved. Goku lets Bonyu go now her actions have been reversed, and she proves no threat to him, with her reorganizing Frieza's army into allies of the Galactic Patrol out of fear of the Super Saiyan. Vegeta stays on Earth training to surpass the Super Saiyan, and things are peaceful for a year. When Cold arrives, he attempts to destroy the Earth from space, but a Kamehameha from Goku intercepts and puts an end to him. After that, the typical events of Goku succumbing to the heart virus, 17 and 18 ravaging the world, and Trunks going back in time occur, and other than circumstances of Cold's death, things go about the same until Piccolo encounters Cell in Ginger Town. Without Frieza or Cold cells, this cell would have absorbed Trunks when stealing the time machine, yet, considering absorbing Piccolo's arm didn't make him that significantly stronger, he'd still be significantly weaker than normal. The battle would still go the same, with the main difference being Cell's strength when they meet again during Piccolo's fight with 17. Though stronger than 17 and Piccolo, it wouldn't be overwhelmingly so, with 17 and Piccolo together proving a challenge to Cell, who then uses the Taioken to create an opening and absorb 17. Things then go similar to the main timeline until after Tenshinhan's Shinki Koho, as, without Shunkan Ido, Goku would be unable to save him and Piccolo. Beyond Gohan going Super Saiyan earlier from Piccolo's death, similarly to another What If I Did, things go the same until the Cell game, where Cell being significantly weaker here leads to Cell being forced to use his full power against Goku, and Gohan overpowering him with just Super Saiyan. But his desire to end things peacefully, and Cell's regeneration prevents the fight from ending quickly. Cell creates 5 Cell Juniors out of necessity to keep the other fighters from teaming up with Gohan. Though significantly weaker to the extent Vegeta and Trunks destroy theirs, Kuririn, Yamcha, and a fatigued Goku are still in danger, with these Cell Juniors proving a challenge to Vegeta and Trunks when working together, with 16 performing his sacrifice and Gohan going Super Saiyan 2. Without Frieza's cells within him, Cell would be just rational enough to not destroy the plant with a self-destruct, and instead do so in a manner akin to what Buu did against Gohan, with everyone catching onto it just in time to escape, apart from Mr. Satan and the Zetor TV announcer. Cell's Saiyan trait awakens and he kills Trunks as usual to thin out the group. When Gohan shields Vegeta though, he takes barely any damage, with this cell only being as powerful as his pre-self-destruct self's full power would normally be. And he trounces Cell. It's when the latter laments this that Goku criticises him for not developing a Shugyo mindset, with the personality traits of Goku, Vegeta and Piccolo within himself, acknowledging this and conceding defeat. With that, the arc's climax ends in negotiation. But the lack of Shunkan Ido and Kaio not focusing on Earth's events enough to give them the coordinates means Goku cannot go to New Namek, and the losses faced are permanent. Without Tenshinhan in his life, Chaozu volunteers to become Kami, and is deemed worthy enough at this point, and Cell takes a spaceship to another planet where known Earthlings will never accept him after his actions. After becoming accustomed to using the time machine, Goku goes to Trunks' timeline and stays there 3 years after dealing with 17 and 18, while waiting for the time machine to recharge. Goku cannot risk leaving this cell in a timeline with nobody to keep him in line, and puts an end to him. With it being revealed in Super that the Cell Juniors regenerated, 3 of them survive, with 2 having been completely destroyed by Vegeta and Trunks. Without 17 to tame them, they start going wild enough to become detected, with Goku defeating and reasoning with them, to turn them into good sparring partners for himself and Vegeta. For the Majin Buu arc, there are already a few major changes at the start, with Goku's lack of Otherworld Shugyo making Vegeta catch up to him, and Videl having lost her father making the world aware the golden-haired boy defeated Cell, as well as making her more determined to know the secrets of these people. Gohan becoming the Golden Warrior is enough for him to gain immediate attention, and after Videl discovers his Great Saiyaman identity, she pleads more sincerely to be trained in ki cultivation when knowing who Gohan is and what potential she could achieve, with Goku helping tutoring her as he was as a child by Muten Roshi, as well as being there to give Goten some advice too. Videl becomes far stronger and Goten more skilled by the time of the Budokai. Goten still loses to Trunks, but Videl knocks Popovich out of the ring while he's still messing around. Piccolo enters the Budokai too, when being the one to return for one day instead of Goku, but loses to Shin as normal. The 3 Cell Juniors participate too, taking Mr. Satan's empty spot, as well as preventing Mighty Mask and Kila from entering. Gohan then gets his energy drained as normal, and those who normally leave do except for Videl, who knows she'd be out of her league even trying to follow. The Budokai continues with one of the Cell Juniors ultimately winning, with them understanding enough about the prize money to divide it into 3 million each for Chi-Chi, Buruma and 18, and give the remaining million to Videl. Meanwhile, the events at Babidi's spaceship go the same, beyond Boo's energy meter being nearly full, for reasons that will become apparent soon, until Babidi attempts to mind control Vegeta, with the gap between he and Goku not being big if even present. Vegeta rejects Babidi, and Dabra is forced back into the battle. This time though, he has an ally who serves as another of Babidi's 2 trump cards, Cell. Having journeyed through space, Cell was eventually found and overpowered by Dabra. As a tangent, I'm aware there's some debate on which version of Cell Dabra is comparable to, and what form Gohan used against him. I firmly stand on Dabra being equal to post-revival Cell, and Gohan having been a Super Saiyan too. But for those that disagree, take that future Dabra easily overpowered the Super Saiyan Trunks with more raw strength than Buu Arc Goku, as a basis for his strength in these what-if scenarios, to be at a high end from a divergence as a compromise. In desperation, he had let Babidi control him, and awaken what dormant power could still be unleashed, much like with Majin Vegeta, after a sizable amount of energy was drained from him, and was now a bit stronger than Dabra, though Vegeta's sparring with Cell Jr. had allowed him to become as strong as his post-Majin self, and he trounces Cell while mocking him for stooping so low. Goku attempts to take down Dabra, but Cell has a strategy and uses the Taioken to get to Gohan and quickly inflict enough damage on him to revive Buu. With no Shunkan Ido to escape, Senzu at the ready, or Fusion Dance, the Saiyans are quickly defeated by Buu, with Babidi conquering and then destroying Earth before moving on to the rest of the universe. This applies for 2 timelines, with the lack of Trunks and Future leaving that Babidi unchallenged from the start. For the super continuity, even Broly's superior strength would be unable to destroy Buu entirely if Babidi were to go to Vampa, as either Vampa is destroyed in the process of the battle, or Broly is absorbed by Buu, with the path for GT being one I've discussed before, of the machine mutants bursting Babidi's group, and Baby inevitably conquering the universe. It's through this scenario that we see the surprising impact of a more efficient member of the Ginyu Tokusentai, like Bonyu, on the wider series of events. Thank you if watching until this point. If there's a topic you have for a Dragon Ball What If, or general Dragon Ball video, comment it below and I'll try and get around to it soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it, check out this playlist for more what if scenarios, and I'll see you next time.